Hey, good evening, everybody. This is just a quick little anglers meeting. CCKF had, I'm sorry, CKA had one last night. So, just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware, had a chance to ask any last minute questions, that kind of thing. So, let's talk about a couple things really quickly. Um, Wild card is in play tomorrow for the CCKF tournament. So if you're fishing the CCKF tournament and you catch a fish that is not a bass, catfish, white bass, crappie, whatever you catch, there is a prize for the largest non-bass. So take a picture of it. Do not submit it on the app. Just bring it to the weigh-in, and we'll ask around and we'll check pictures at the weigh-in, and somebody will win a gift card. Um, there's been a lot of confusion about the big bass. Um, so we'll talk about that really quickly. There's three big bass contests going on tomorrow. So number one, you've got the CCKF big bass, just like normal, biggest bass of the day. Everybody that's fishing CCKF, it has put in $5 with your entry fee. Um, so that is um, going to be a payout there. And I'm pulling up a sheet here in the background. I apologize. So as of right now, CCKF Big Bass is worth $375. Um, if you're in the CKA tournament, then you're also registered for the CKA Big Bass. Um, so there's a possibility that two different people could win those two big bass contests. Then if you are double dipping and you're in both, there's a free contest for the largest bass from each hour to win $50. That's being run by Eric and the CKA guys. And as I understand it, the biggest bass per hour is not based on what time your photo is stamped. It's based on what time you submit the photo. So that's where they were talking about some people might hold theirs, and make sure that nothing else any bigger than what they have is turned in. Um, there's no way. The thing around that too is, well, I don't know. It's just when you submit it, and I'm not going to get too much into it. But the largest bass of the Carolina Classic of the day gets a bonus $100. So Bass Trail and On the Water Innovations have contributed the $50 each for each hour, and then CCKF has kicked in the extra 100 for the largest bass of whoever's in the Carolina Classic or double dipping. As of just a little while ago, we had 75 people registered for CCKF. We had 58 registered for CKA, and 54 of those are double dipping in Orange Carolina Classic. So good numbers. Probably a few more will sign up before the end of the night, I assume. Still working the payouts, but what I do know is that first place for CCKF will be a minimum of $1,100. And then all the other payouts will fall behind that. We're paying at 75 anglers, we're paying 7 spots. We're highly weighted to number one getting the most money. Number two is getting a good payday. Number three is getting a good payday. At 75 anglers, fourth place is even getting a really good payday, a lot more than what you're paying in. And again, there's the opportunity that you could win CKA and CCKF if you're double dipping, or it could be two different winners for the two separate tournaments. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Be cognizant of the rules. If you don't usually fish CCKF, if you normally fish foothills, don't touch the tail. I'm gonna pull up this photo that I posted earlier just to make sure that but if you go to centralcarolinakayakfishing.com/rules, or just go to the rules, you'll see a photo. Don't touch it behind the anterior fins. Don't touch it anywhere on the tail. Don't cover the eye. Don't cover the mouth. Minimum 10 inches. Um, the only boundaries, Stephen, are Beaver Dam is not in play because that's behind a second dam. It's considered a different body of water. So Beaver Dam is not in play. And if you go to the Facebook event, which I'll do right now, and I'll pull it up for everybody in just a second. Darn it, clicking on the wrong thing. If you go to the Facebook event in the chat for the event, I posted a picture of boundaries. I'm going to go over them really quickly. I'm just about there. If you go to the discussion tab, and I'm gonna display this picture so we can talk about it. Present. Here we go. So you can see the real boundaries other than Beaver Dam lie on the Flat River and the Eno River. And the way it works out, basically on the Flat River, don't go under any bridge, right? So if you're on this section, don't go under Old Oxford Road, and don't go. I don't even know if you can get up these small creeks on the whatever. This road doesn't really have a name, but just don't. If you're on the Flat River, don't go under any bridge. If you're on the Eno River, don't go past the second bridge, which is Oxford Road. The launch ramp is somewhere kind of where my mouse is, the Eno River launch ramp. So that's a pretty good little trek to get to Oxford Road on either one of these. I don't even think you can make it up this one. But Hank will surprise you. Hank will get farther up creeks than you think is humanly possible. So just be aware of those boundaries. Like I said, 10-inch minimum, typical, rules. Hank brought up a good point last night on their call. Make sure your camera is looking down at the fish, not at an angle like this, and watch your shadows. We want to be, we need to be able to see that the mouth is closed. If there's a bad shadow right up against the bump board of your catch board, then sometimes you can't see the mouth. And got to watch the shadows back there at the tail too. Some of those colors are harder to see than others on those boards. So make really sure that we can see what is the next full measurement. So if your fish is 14 3/4, make sure that the 15-inch mark is showing on the board. Just leave a little room behind your fish. Don't crop it so close that it causes the judge any issues. The same judge is judging both the CKA and the CCKF tournaments. Her name is Susie Roloffs. She's in Indiana. She is well known for judging tournaments. She judged the paddle and fin noob tournaments, if any of y'all ever fish those, as well as several others. She's a very active kayak fisher person herself. So she's judged all the CCKF events this year so far. So if you didn't have any issues with CCKF so far, you won't have any issues tomorrow. Be careful launching tomorrow. We're going to launch early. So be careful. Make sure you have your PFD on. That's a rule. Make sure you have a 360 light before sunup. That's a rule. That's a state law. You can launch at 6 o'clock. Lines in at 6:20, lines out at 3:20, photo upload deadline at 3:40, and we will have the weigh-in at 4:30 at a parking lot in front of the Bojangles, not the Bojangles parking lot, but in a parking lot there at 1425 Brogden Woods Drive, which is on the corner of Old Creekmore and 98. There's a Harris Teeter there. It's easy to get to. It's easy to find. Just trying to think of anything else I can think of. We've got, like I said, 75 anglers 79 total if because there's 4 not double dipping in CKA. So if you add those to the CKF anglers, that's we right around 79 to 80 anglers. Thank God there's multiple boat launches here, but boat launches are going to be busy. It's a Saturday in May, and we're having a large kayak tournament. I believe there is a bass boat tournament going out of Ledge Rock, but you should be safe if you launch at Ledge Rock. I started to say Bedrock, Ledge Rock, because most of the bass boats blast off and get out of that area. They don't. Most of them don't fish um, right at the boat ramp. Michael, there's several guys camping there at Holly Point. If you look around, I'm sure you're going to see kayaks in there. I know of, as far as I know, there's 10 to 12 people at least camping at Holly Point. Um, just trying to think of anything else really quickly. Most of it is normal. I did say wild card is in effect for CCKF, so take a picture of that catfish or whatever you get. Um, um, we talked about the big bass. Be sure to submit. You do submit your fish to both tournaments. If you're double dipping, you have to go into the Tourney X app for CCKF, and you have to go in the Fishing Chaos app for CKA. So be sure to submit them to both apps. I'm trying to think of what else. I was going somewhere with that. But be sure to submit them to both. Just make sure you submit them both. The next thing I was going to say, I've gotten questioned a lot. You can use one ID card no matter which tournament you're fishing. So if you're an FKA angler, you can use your FKA. If you're CKA, you use your CKA. And if you're CCKF, you use your CKF card. We're all using the same ID. The ID has already been released on the apps. It was released at 8 p.m. I should be able to show it here in a second. I just have to. I'll do it this way. I hate to have to do it this way, but I'm gonna do it this way. So we'll share that, and then I'm gonna give you Infinity for a second. Here is the Carolina Classic ID. No matter which card you're using, no matter which tournament you're using, your tournament ID is FCC. So you do not have to, if you're new to this, you do not have to put FCC in every box on the tag. It just needs to be in one box. It doesn't matter which box, just as long as you're showing a tournament, a club tag, and it is uh, showing FCC in at least one box. You're good. So with that, I don't really know what else to say. I hope everybody be safe. Watch out for the bass boats. Um, and they're not necessarily going to watch out for you. We're in the smaller craft, so we're the ones that have to be defensive. Um, so um, just be safe. Really be safe. I hope like to have a really good turnout at weigh in if we can. If you can come to the weigh in, come. Um, I've got special door prizes for those that are in the CCKF tournament. Um, got a pair of Hobie sunglasses to give away. Got some 4-7 lures to give away. Got some Chick-fil-A to give away. Got some pincushion tattoo to give away. As well as it's just a great opportunity to meet all the other anglers. And when there's this many of us fishing, um, uh, there'll be a lot of guys there that you get to meet. So uh, I haven't really seen any questions posted. I hope um, hope I've answered any questions. Michael, yes, chaos. I did see your question. Fishing chaos is the important one for the hourly bass tournament. So if you're trying to play that game of what time you post that big bass, when you post it on Fishing Chaos is the time that counts towards that. Fishing Chaos allows us. Uh, Fishing Chaos allows you to have multiple leaderboards, and so that's why we're working it through the CKA side to have the classic leaderboard there. Um, all right. With that, again, good luck, everybody. I hope everybody catches a fish. At least, I hope everybody catches at least one fish. And it'd be awesome to see 75, 77, however many um, limits. Uh, but I don't know that there's that many fish in that lake. We'd have to see. So, everybody have a good night. We'll see you in the morning. If you have any questions, messaging me directly at my personal page, Mitch Lassiter, is the easiest. Or if you have my cell phone number, text me. If you message the page, I will get it. It just is a little slower to notify me if you message Central Carolina Kayak Fishing. And with that, we'll see everybody in the morning. Thank you very much.